Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Startup Sense podcast. This is your host, Jonah Lupton. Thank you for joining us today. Greatly appreciate it. Do me a big favor, and if you're on iTunes or Google Play, subscribe to the Startup Sense podcast so that way you never miss an episode. Today's guest is Alex Drysdale. He's actually calling in from Winnipeg in Canada. He is the founder of a company called Crik Nutrition. So they actually make the world's first cricket-powered protein. Powered protein, but it is a powder. So right now they're shipping, it's about 1.5 or 2 pound containers. And we're going to get into all the details in a second. They have not raised any capital, so currently bootstrapped. They might be looking for an investment in the near future. Currently his team is very small, just a few of them right now, building some partnerships. And let's talk to Alex. How are you, man?
I'm good, Jonah. Thanks for having me on today.
You got it, man. So I didn't want to butcher what exactly you guys are doing, so I'll let you tell us in your own words.
Yeah, well, basically, the long story short, I was looking for a cricket protein powder. After first learning about all the benefits that came with eating crickets, I had built an e-commerce business and was just looking to do something more sustainable, and happened to see an article about the protein benefits and all the other nutrients and sustainability that came along with basically consuming crickets. And being into health and fitness for the past 10 years, this really piqued my interest right off the bat. And I thought it was kind of weird, but was just sold within a couple paragraphs. And the benefits just keep coming out of the woodwork that, have to do with eating crickets. And I was looking for a protein powder. It's something that I use every day, and turned out at the time nobody was doing it. So I ordered up some powdered crickets and kind of destroyed my girlfriend's coffee grinder, and came up with her first formula.
Oh, man. Okay, so that's a good story in itself. Before we talk about the benefits of crickets, where did you order the crickets from? I mean, how did you even, that's always the fun part, I guess, in the beginning of every new business. I've done it with several different companies and industries I knew nothing about. You literally just start from the beginning and you go on Google and you search for this or that, try to find a supplier. How did you guys find crickets?
Yeah, that initial article that I read about crickets, they actually mentioned where they were getting them from. And there's a farm here in Canada that a lot of the big companies that are doing different cricket products use. They're called Entimo Farms now, and they're based out of a facility near Toronto, Ontario. And ended up choosing them. First, it was easy to get a hold of them. They're the first ones that popped up. And as I dug deeper and deeper into this, they're strictly regulated by the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, which is like our version of the FDA, and a lot of our standards meet or exceed the FDA, so it's easier for us to ship around the world. And it's a local company, so I like to support them. I flew out there and talked to them once we got some of this, and I've actually built a pretty good close personal relationship with them. And just ordered them right away that day. And as you said, I got on Google and I had this idea and just erased my whole whiteboard from my business I was working on, and just wrote cricket protein powder on the top of the board, and Googled how to manufacture protein powder. And that's kind of how it started.
Cool. How do the crickets come? Do they come frozen?
You can get them in a lot of different forms. We buy them actually dehydrated and powdered. But you can get them. You can get them any way you want: live, frozen whole, frozen, powdered, whatever.
And what do crickets cost per pound?
They come in a lot. It depends again on how much you order. And
right.
If you go to buy, say, a pound off the website from our suppliers, you're going to be looking at upwards of $50 a pound for smaller quantities. So they aren't cheap right now. And some people say, hey, well, if they're so efficient, why aren't they cheaper than beef? And it's like, well, when you grow them in small batches and, one barn, and there's a lot of optimization that needs to be done. But the prices are coming down basically almost month by month.
Okay, that's good. I mean, especially since your business is built on, that one main ingredient.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to us about, what was the next step after that? So after you destroyed your girlfriend's blender, you're kind of making your own protein powder in the kitchen. How did you turn this into I guess, how did you commercialize that?
Well, it was a bit of a longer process than I hoped, but I had made a goal. I got into this business group before that, and I made a goal that I was going to launch a successful Kickstarter of some sort by April of that next year. It was about 6 months later. And, just making dozens and dozens of phone calls to brands and factories. And, I got hung up on lots and lots. I think it was about 42 different companies I called before somebody didn't laugh or hang up or say it was impossible. And one company was finally willing to work with us. So I had a base formula. I tested it on a few people and I was like, hey, this is actually pretty good. I didn't know what to expect when I ordered them, and it turned out to be not too bad. So once we found a manufacturer that was willing to work with us, it was basically a process over months of back and forth with just tweaking the formula, getting to something that had all the nutrients and the cricket content that we wanted. It was very important for me to have it as a main ingredient and not just kind of use it for marketing purposes. And as well as it had to taste really good, because if people didn't, people were probably already sketched out about trying crickets in the first place. If it didn't taste really good, then it was going to be game over. So it was a process over about 6 months from the idea and then hopping on the phone and then just samples back and forth between me and the factory.
How many different formulas do you think you went through?
We went through, it would have been about 10 at the beginning.
Okay.
It was a little bit, I would have liked to tweak it more, but the costs come up and I had that deadline on myself just to get this launched with not really, I don't like using the minimum viable product, but it was something that checked all the boxes for me. And it was like, this is great. People are liking it. It's a good product that I'm proud of. And now we can get it out there and first, before I spend a ton of money, see if people will actually buy it. And
right.
That was the first round.
The whole MVP concept, I mean, that works with, I guess, marketing and the website. Doesn't really work with the food product itself. I mean, you definitely have to have the food product right from the beginning. Otherwise, people aren't going to come back and buy it a second time. So I hear you.
Yeah.
So how did you actually launch? I mean, how did you, what was your initial inventory and what was the original marketing strategy, and how has that strategy changed over time?
So the launch was just kind of, again, bootstrapped together. I didn't have experience really with big product launches. And I wanted to do a crowdfunding and basically do like a pre-sale and see if people would actually, based on some of the testimonials we had, see if people on the internet would buy this product without trying it. So to me, that would be proof of concept. If, we had a few text testimonials, a couple of short videos, and put together a decent little marketing video for our Kickstarter. Well, we ended up using Indiegogo for our crowdfunding campaign. If people buy this product over the internet without trying it, that was enough for me to be proof of concept. So I launched the crowdfunding campaign. This was, again, about 6 months later. It would have been May of 2015. Just to get some feedback and see if it was okay to, if I had the confidence to move ahead and put it in order. And we ended up reaching our goal of $10,000 within the first 24 hours. I think we actually hit like 13,000 and ended up settling somewhere around $17,000. And there were sales in 22 countries. So that was enough for me. And I made a small batch order of just 500 units to get out to those customers, as well as sell through our website once we had that up and running, and then get all the feedback from customers and then look forward to making the next iteration on the product.
I'm actually looking at the Indiegogo campaign right now. So you raised about $16,428 from 191 backers. I'm not doing the math right now. I guess I'm trying to do the math in my head and it's not working. But what did that? Let's see what that works out to per person. 191. So okay, yeah, about $86. So so you guys had some money left over from that. Where did you plow that money back into marketing, or did you plow it into probably more inventory, right?
All of that went into inventory and then some. I ended up, once I had that proof of concept, it was enough for me to confidently be able to put in some of my own money at that point because it was all still just bootstrapped. Basically, I think I was into it for, maybe $1,600 or so. And yeah, it was just enough for me to be like, hey, I can order this product now and use some of my own money, and I'm confident we'd be able to sell it. So yeah, it was all of that went into the inventory, as well as, I ended up doing a little more than double of that amount to get our first batch in.
I mean, a lot of people say that you can't start a business for less than $5,000, but in your case, you did, right?
Yeah, I think that's kind of baloney. And I was just reading an article the other day with, a lot of startups are chasing VC money and big investments right off the bat. And there's a book from one of the sharks, The Power of Broken, and I finally really understand what it means. It makes you, get resourceful. And if you're searching for money before you have validated that people will actually pay for what you have, I mean, that can lead to problems, and you can waste a lot of money by trying to, quickly figure something out, or, build something, create something that people don't even want. So by, I think, going ahead and pre-selling a product, you can, then confidently start looking for money after that. But I mean, if I did this all over again, I could have probably done it for under $1,000.
Wow. Where did you spend some of that money? Was that legal? Was that to get set up with the manufacturer? Was that just testing formulas?
That was basically all testing formulas. And I went to one event I paid for, but I ended up getting the money back for that. So yeah, it was most of that 1,600 was all just formulation.
Okay. How many flavors right now does the protein powder come in?
We have the two. So there's the sweet vanilla and the chocolate. We have our old original vanilla available, but it's essentially more or less the same as our sweet vanilla.
Are you guys only available online right now, or have you started to dabble in the retail space?
Yeah, we're mostly available only online. There's a few stores in Canada here that we do warehouse it at, and they're just ones that reached out. And there's a couple local ones, a few CrossFit gyms, things like that, where people wanted the product. So that's where we have it. But there hasn't really been a focus on expanding, online or in retail. It's been for me just a lot of market testing and kind of de-risking the business, so I know what's going to work. When I do go out to get money to grow this thing, we know exactly what works already, and I'm not going to have to waste any time testing. Well, of course, there's always going to be testing, but it's going to be a lot more laser focused now, and we'll know that we'll be able to get an ROI on everything that we're doing.
This is Jonah Lupton, founder of the Lupton Group and host of the Startup Sense podcast. Are you struggling to find the right tech team to build your company's website or mobile app? Maybe you've developed a product but need help with your go-to-market strategy, including branding and marketing. Well, stop worrying, because my team at the Lupton Group can assist you with all of those needs. We specialize in helping entrepreneurs and startups of all sizes launch and grow their businesses. For a free consultation, you can email me at jonahlupton@gmail.com or visit our website at luptongroup.co. So I've been, personally, I've been using supplements for probably 15 years. I've owned 2 supplement companies. So, whey protein is just part of my diet in every way. How would you get someone like me to kind of switch over to Cricket protein, or at least give it a shot? What selling points would you hammer home?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I got into bodybuilding when I was about 19 or 20 and used whey protein almost every single day up until I started doing the Cricket thing. I tried different vegan powders, but I didn't really like the taste of them. A lot of them taste fishy to me because of some of that like seaweed and algae protein they use. So I always stuck with the whey, and it didn't bother me. Like, I'm not really lactose or anything like that. But once I tried the Cricket protein, it was for the sustainability reasons, and then the nutrients. I started to go more towards functional foods, or like a functional diet. So trying to get the best bang for your buck out of everything that you use. And basically, when I tried the Cricket protein for the first time, I realized how much the whey actually was bloating me without me realizing it, because I'd always have one after workout and then kind of go veg out in the shower after, but I would never ever dream of taking a whey protein shake and then, say, going to work out or going to go do jujitsu. And now with the Cricket, I can take a double serving of the Cricket protein even and go do jujitsu, a really hard roll for a couple hours, and there's no burping, there's no bloating, no gas. Like, I feel satiated, but not full, like not overly full, where I just kind of need to sit around and digest. So it just seems a lot lighter, and for me, it's a lot easier to digest. We're getting a lot of feedback from people about the same, where they can't eat whey, they can't eat vegetarian. It seems to give them gas or bloating or worse. And with ours, they're able to digest it really easily. And even there's one woman at a CrossFit competition last week that said she couldn't eat whey, but she's able now to mix the Cricket with the whey and digest it fine without any problems. We haven't really done any testing to see why exactly that is yet, but this is just as a feedback we're getting from actual customers.
So let's say, 100 people, you walk into a gym and 100 people use whey protein, and maybe this is a bad example because it's not really where I want it to go, but okay, let's just say in general, you take 100 people that are, that use whey protein, and maybe 10 or 15 of them are willing to try, a cricket-based protein. How do you find those 10 or 15 people? Is this, do you have to walk into a gym and present it to them face to face and let them try it? Or can you create, marketing messages that will convince people it's worth a shot?
Yeah, I mean, it's of course definitely helps to, people that aren't out looking for something new. It helps to have them try it because they see that, hey, this actually tastes good. It looks, smells, and tastes as good as any other protein out there. And we offer that money back guarantee, so there's like no risk for people to try it. But I'm not really going out there trying to convince people at this point. It's been people that are find out about the cricket thing, or they're looking at different. I've kind of been doing guerrilla marketing through Facebook and that, like commenting on different videos that have to do with higher nutrients or functional foods, or we're finding a lot of support from CrossFit and MMA, where people are looking for, like I said, a better bang for your buck, a better quality out of their food. And it's those people that as soon as they see the benefits of it, they're willing to try it right away. So those are who we're focusing on right now. And then as we grow our customer base, we can start putting more money into marketing. And right now, just working on building our email system and an educational series that can, people that are interested can check it out and, have quick little quips that we'll use, 30-second videos, one that'll cover the sustainability or the nutrition, the environmental or the ethical aspects of using a cricket protein.
So in terms of, customers, do you want to tell us how many customers you have, or, what the average kind of checkout value is? How many times a month they're coming back and reordering, or are they doing the kind of auto ship?
So we have all of the above is basically what we're seeing right now. It's still pretty new into it. We just got our last batch of protein in June this past year, and as I said, I haven't been putting money into marketing or anything yet. It's all just been basically word of mouth. There's a couple little things that we tested with. The typical cart size was one order protein, so it's a $59. And then I ended up adding some different combos and where you can get a discount if you order 2 or 3 units, or a sample one where it's one of each flavor. So then that has seen the order size increase up to about $110, $120. And it ranges all from, I have a few customers that are ordering 2 tubs a month on auto ship. I have some that'll order 4 tubs every 2 or 3 months. We have some people that order once every 6 months. So it's kind of all over the place at this point. We don't have real data to show exactly what it is, because it is changing as it goes, and as we add different like email automations and reminders and things like that for people. All of that has been increasing our cart size and our order frequency.
So how do you turn this into a 7 or 8 figure business?
That's going to be, now that we have all this market testing, we know what the customer wants, how we're going to iterate in going forward in the future. At this point now, it's raising some capital, improving the products that we do have, offering a few more product lines, and basically marketing the crap out of it, right? Like getting it in front of people, because right now we're just having people that are coming to us. As I said, I've been bootstrapped, and most of my money has gone into the product itself. And once we have that capital and can afford to do some marketing, and we can get in front of people, we're finding, decent conversion rates, and being able to, convert those into like real true fans, like the people that try and buy our protein, or like they really, really love it, and they're really true fans of the company. So it's just getting in front of people at that point, and being able to offer a few more different products.
Have you guys gotten into affiliate marketing, ambassadors, influencers, any of that stuff?
Yeah, I've been offering some an ambassador program. So we do have a few people, but again, I haven't been super aggressive on that just because it's mostly me doing everything, and I've been focused on the feedback we've been getting and running the day-to-day operations and making sure that the company's ready to scale before we go out and look for, more partnerships or anything like that. So there is, we do some influencer stuff that people that really like the product. Like, I don't want to go out and just pay people to advertise the product. I've been dealing only with people that are using the product and are interested in spreading the word about it themselves. So it's like getting people that are, as I said, true fans and really believe in what we're doing and why we're doing it, as opposed to just getting out there and getting it as far as we can.
In order to get investors involved with the company, what numbers do you think you have to hit? What are some of the metrics or milestones that they want to see?
I mean, we're still kind of a pre-market, if you will, because I haven't done any marketing, and all the money that we've made has been basically by word of mouth. So what we're kind of positioning the company as is looking at some of the other people that other companies that have created or developed markets, such as what's happening in say the hemp or vegan markets, and looking at how those companies have started. How they've grown and used the capital that they've raised, and kind of what those exits are. So we're kind of basing it on that trajectory and how we've been growing just basically by word of mouth at this point. So it's still more in that super estimated startup range. But again, that all comes down to the investor too. Like, people that see what we're doing and believe in what we're doing are, they're like me, they're willing to put the money in at this point when it's maybe a little bit more risky. So we're not so much going after the VCs that are more super number driven. We're going after these angels that believe in what we're doing.
Right. I mean, are there angels in Canada that invest in food companies?
Yeah, there's a few accelerators. It's definitely nothing like in the United States, but I've been focusing my time on building relationships and growing my network in this industry. And we're finding more and more people that are in the industry, have industry experience, and maybe have exited companies themselves in the industry and are now looking to make their money work for them, as opposed to running their businesses over the past decade.
What's the biggest mistake you've made so far since you started this company?
Mine probably would have been making the big order that I did instead of using some more money for marketing at this point. So that was kind of the big one, I'd say, that kind of slowed things a little bit.
Okay. I mean, when you say order was too big, I mean, what do you mean?
Yeah, sorry, that would be
all your capital.
Yeah, well, it's a decision, as I'm sure the larger inventory order you make, the much cheaper the product gets. So I wanted to see, it was kind of a balance of getting it to where we can be at a place where we could go retail with the different costs and the retail value we're at right now, and be at a number where customers are still willing to pay that for it. And yeah, it was just a decision I made early on to make sure I hit a specific cost per unit that could get us at a reasonable retail value, and still be able to make a okay margin online and be able to get into retail stores if any of those opportunities came up. Instead of, say, maybe breaking even on product and then just marketing the crap out of it to get those sales numbers up. But I mean, that's all part of the startup learning experience too.
So you guys are using Shopify right now for your e-commerce. Why did you choose them instead of some of the other ones?
I tried. Basically, the short answer is Shopify is super robust, and it's if you deal with WordPress, there's all these plugins and updates and all the time, and security not necessarily issues, but you have to keep things updated and you have to really be on top of it. As where Shopify is an all-in-one solution, and everything is there, and everything works pretty seamlessly, and it's really a really robust e-commerce system. So that's why we ended up going with it. I did try Squarespace at first, but there was a little bit of limited capabilities versus if you're a really heavily e-commerce focused business, Shopify for me was the way to go.
Yep. No, I totally agree. I've tried at least 5 or 6 of them, and I keep going back to Shopify because like you said, they have all the features. They have the app store. Their mobile app is great. So you can do, fulfillment right through the mobile app and then check things off, send an email right to the customer. Everything's just really automated and set up seamlessly. So totally agree. What else can you tell us about the business or, goals for 2017, where you see the company in 3 years, any of that before we wrap up here?
Yeah, the goal for this year is to basically grow. It's to scale. And that's going to be raising a little bit of capital so we can get to that next stage, building out a team, building out our systems, growing our online. That's going to be my focus. And as well as getting into retail and basically getting in front of eyeballs. That is the biggest thing this year. It's scaling. And that's where all the focus is going to be and growing, not only our customer base, but our product line, as well as, keeping to innovate and keep improving our products with every order. That's a big goal of mine, because I didn't start this company to start a startup. I started it because I was looking for this product, and I see the future of, alternative proteins. And it's something that I truly love. And I've sunk all my time and energy into this. And I really believe in making a product that I'm proud to use myself, as well as, share with other people.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, have you guys done any, do you have any sort of a content marketing strategy or creating recipes or anything you can do to organically drive traffic back to the site?
Yeah, we actually are doing pretty good on our SEO. We're on the first page for a lot of the kind of the main keywords. And of course, as we mentioned earlier, there's not a lot of people searching for cricket protein yet,
right,
or cricket protein powder, but
how many, do you have any idea how many searches are happening every month for cricket protein powder?
When I first was looking at this, it was, anywhere between 2,500 and 5,000. So it's not very much, but that has been growing every month. I haven't looked at it lately, so I don't know what it is right now, but it's kind of in that 2,500 to 5,000 range, depending on the month and what press is going out there. But it is increasing more steadily as, myself and other companies get more press and do more advertising and get the word out there.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I think definitely if you're trying to kind of grow organically, I mean, you're going to have to connect with influencers, keep building up the ambassador affiliate program, try to find some fitness / foodie bloggers, people like that. But, I mean, they're obviously going to want, in most cases, they're going to want some free product up front, so they can try it, test it. Do you guys have sample packs that you send to people?
That's another issue with the shipping from Canada is it's, almost $15 to ship anything from here with tracking. And if I was to send it regular mail, it would take 30 days. But we do have some stuff. And a lot of the times what I do is, we'll offer, we have that money back guarantee. So people that are looking for samples, it's really no risk to them. And I'll, on your first order can definitely get anybody a discount to try the product out, because I don't want people to miss out on trying it just because, they're worried about it being an issue. And yeah, another thing is we're not going to ask you to return it for $25 or whatever if you don't like it. If you don't like it or it's not working for you, we'll give you your money back, no questions asked.
I mean, as you guys grow, it almost sounds like you might have to have a U.S. manufacturer as well as a Canadian manufacturer, or at the very least a U.S.-based kind of fulfillment center that handles all the U.S. orders.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a lot of the factories up here, just simply because of sheer size of the U.S. market, all the manufacturers up here are FDA certified in that, so it's no issue getting our product into the U.S. It's just a matter of having the different labels for the U.S. And then, yeah, of course, once the volume grows, we're absolutely going to have a distribution center in the U.S. just because we can cut our costs down almost in half on the shipping end of things by moving into the States.
Yeah, but I feel you on the shipping. I mean, when I was running my business, I think maybe 5% of the orders would have to go to Canada, and the shipping charges were insane. And then almost always they would kind of get stuck in customs for a couple weeks and, take 3-4 weeks to get to the customer. So
yeah, we don't really have the issue with, we don't ever get any product stuck at the border. So that's not an issue. We can usually ship to customers. If we're using a standard shipping, it can be up to 9 days. But if it's Purolator for an extra couple bucks, we can usually get it there within four business days. And it's just a matter of those shipping charges. But the way I look at it is, those shipping charges are basically what we pay a store to be in retail. So it kind of works out in the wash in the end.
That's a good point. You're right. Yeah. So you're paying the shipping company or the post office, whoever it is up there, instead of paying the retail store. It's basically the same margin.
Exactly.
It depends who you want to send it to. Okay. Well, what's the best way for us to connect with you and the company?
Yeah, you can Google it, Crik Nutrition, or Google Cricket Protein Powder will come up. There's a great little TEDx I did on, it's about 5 minutes. It covers all the main benefits in that kind of can get your brains thinking about why I decided to use Cricket Protein Powder. So that's available on our website or on YouTube as well.
I actually just Googled Cricket Protein Powder, and yep, you guys do show up number 2. Actually, well, you're number 1 behind a sponsored ad. So
right.
Number 1 is actually Chewy.com, which I believe sells pet food. So, that's kind of like, I mean, it's cricket. They're calling it Cricket Protein Powder, but I think it's for reptiles and things like that. It's probably not for human consumption. So, yep. And then your blog shows up number 2, or at least one of your about pages. So, okay, cool. Yeah. So you guys are getting some good SEO then, probably from this.
Yeah, I mean, because like you said, the traffic wasn't so big, so I noticed some companies weren't focusing on that as much, and I, made sure that we were kind of hitting those keywords to get into the ground level and be at those top spots longer, and be able to grow on that easily. So we're there once the traffic starts to come in for those keywords.
Are you guys selling on Amazon?
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we're available on Amazon.com and .ca if there's any Canadian listeners.
Okay, cool. And I mean, Amazon takes what, 12 or 15% probably?
They take a good chunk. Yeah, it's around that 15 to 20%.
So for anyone listening, instead of going to Amazon, do them a favor and just go to their website.
Yeah, it's a little, that just has to get passed on to the customer, right? To be honest, because we have pretty slim margins.
Exactly. I mean, because Amazon's not holding your inventory, are they? Are you? I mean, you're still fulfilling the order yourself?
Yeah, we're still doing it ourselves.
Okay, cool. And then what's, in terms of product innovation, what do you guys have in the pipeline?
Of course, everybody's looking at the protein bars right now, and there's a lot of competition to that. But if some people are asking for it, that's what we're going to do. It's going to basically come down to, seeing what exactly our customers want. So it's just improving our product a little bit more, offering, the straight ground crickets, which a lot of people use for baking or smoothies. That's kind of how I started with it as well. And then there's a couple other products we're keeping under wraps a bit, but there's going to be definitely a couple exciting and innovative things, as well as, not only improving our product from a taste angle, but also the texture and the nutrient density and price. So all that's just going to keep getting better and better as we go over the next year.
Cool. Well, I want to wish you the best, man. Sounds like you guys are off a nice start here, but I know you're looking to grow fast, and hopefully there's any investors listening. They want to throw some money at you. You can give me a finder's fee for that. No, I'm just kidding. But definitely, once things really start cranking, feel free to come back and kind of give us some updates and let us know how you got there.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
You got it, man. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Thanks, John. Bye.